a moment. Mike Conrad, the chair, has not joined us yet, but he may come running in any moment. But for the sake of staying on schedule, we will have our co-chair, vice chair, Chris Stroll, start the meeting. So Chris, whenever you are ready, go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll go ahead and call the Local Workforce Innovation Area 23 Planning and Oversight Committee. Roll call, please. Casey Burkholzer.
Present.
Here. Lori Jennings for Kevin Bush.
President.
Mike Conrad. Aaron Hacker.
Sorry, I'm present.
That's okay. Julie Obermark. Chris Stroll. Here. Kim Taylor.
Here.
Carol Tracy.
Here.
Jeff Boyd. Number 2 on the agenda is review and approval of the June 8th, 2023 minutes. In your packet that was emailed to you, you'll have the minutes, or if you're here, there are also paper copies. Please take a look and see if there are any corrections or additions that need to be made to the minutes from our June 8th meeting. If there are no additions or corrections, I would entertain a motion to go ahead and approve the June 8th, 2023 minutes. Carol made the motion. And a second. Do we need a roll call?
Not for that one.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3 on our agenda, conflict of interest disclosure. Is there anyone that has a conflict of interest with anything we'll be discussing this evening? Hearing or seeing none, we'll move on to number 4, grant recipient fiscal agent report. Debbie, I'll turn the floor over to you. Okay, I sent the packet out, and basically a lot of it is for the end of the last fiscal year, just reviewing how it ended. So the first page was the WIOA statement of expenditures through June. As you can see, we hit 93.2% of the budget, so we did not go over. One thing I do want to point out, it doesn't pertain to this one in particular, but for the new fiscal year, I know there will be one line that will be over, but it shouldn't affect the overall budget greatly. The retirees' health insurance, we were informed in July that the percentage that had been used in the past went up slightly as of July 1st. So I did not take that into consideration, but overall, it should not affect the overall budget greatly. So any questions on that page? Okay, we'll move to the second page, and that is the apprenticeship through June. As you can see, 83.8% of that has been spent, and that grant ended on August 31st. So we should be wrapping up those numbers in the next week to report to the state. I know we did not spend 100% of it, but it should be fairly close whenever it's all said and done. So any questions on that one? Okay, the next report is the accounts payable report. As you can see, a lot of it is just the normal every week sort of stuff, cash requests. We've got the credit card payments. There were a few different incumbent worker training projects that included Clay County Hospital, data import, 3D printing. So those all happened from June to August that we actually paid, and then a few travel items. So let you look that over, see if there's any questions on any of that. No questions on that. We can move on to the next report, the key metrics. That one is through June 30th again. As you can see, the top part of it, we either met everything or we we're meeting the year 2 of the 22 grant. We did meet the 50% of the direct training expenses. Down at the bottom is where it's not quite so bright, but we knew this going into this past year, it was going to be difficult. So the youth 50%, at least 50% of out of school, we did not meet that. And then for the 22 grant, we are not going to meet that one again. We made the decision that we would just take our losses for the 22 grant, and hopefully with the 23 grant, we can right the ship. So, and then for the minimum work experience of 20%, we did go ahead and meet that for the 21 grant. The 22 grant, we will not be meeting that one. And same sort of situation. Just gonna take our lumps with that one and hopefully get it back on track for next year. So, any questions on that one? Okay, you can move on to the training versus overhead. The first page shows that we easily met that 50%. We ended the year at 66.2% for the adult and dislocated workers. So we were very well ahead of where we needed to be with that. And then the second page just shows that overall we were at 59.2%. So that one is not tracked. We just do that internally just to make sure that when you factor everything in, that it was all on track, and it was. So any questions on training versus overhead? Okay. The next item is the provider contract budget. This is what we produced for SEFs as of July 1st. This was actually the 1-year contract extension. There will be a new contract for next fiscal year. We will be doing an RFP, but this is the last year of this one. And just to compare last year, so overall the contract award for PY23 is a little over 2.4 million. Last year was just short of 3 million. So a lot of that has to do with, we did not have the carry forward like we did the year before. And allocations actually were up slightly. Another thing that factored in, we did keep more back for incumbent worker. So that helped reduce SEF's contract part. So that's what makes up the majority of why that's so much less than the year before, but about $600,000 difference. So any questions on that?
Project year again. I mean, what is the dates to and from? Is it a July through June?
July 1st through June.
July through June.
Yep. No other questions. We can move to the MOU invoices. That one, basically, we got the very last payment that we were waiting on in July. So we are at a 0 balance, and now we wait until the November billing and we do it all over again. So any questions on that one? Okay, we can move on to the incumbent worker training. Okay, just to let you know, I did notice whenever I was reviewing these that on this PY22, the total under the paid column, it did not have all of the formula figured correctly. So once I refigured that, it matches up to the 111,896. That's at the bottom of the spent obligated portion. So for last year, we actually were right under 112,000 that we done in incumbent workers. So plenty of projects. And then on the second page, the PY23, we've already got 28,000 plus a couple more projects that have just been added since I sent this out. So we're looking good so far, but we have plenty to work with. So we basically have the 22 grant all spoken for. So on to the 23 and using up that 200,000. So any questions on the incumbent worker training? Okay. Then the other couple things I just wanted to mention, the Lakeland annual audit, that typically takes place late July, beginning of August, and they do have new auditors this year, so they did ask for a little bit different information than they have in the past, but we basically provided everything that they had questions on, and so we should hear if they have any issues, which I'm not anticipating that, probably October, November, so. And then the other thing, the new funding is that we did get approved for the apprenticeship, the new apprenticeship grant, and it's $89,000, and it will run through June 30th of next year, so. Any questions on any of that? Any questions from anyone here or online? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the grant recipient fiscal agent report that was presented by Debbie.
I can make a motion.
And a second,
I'll second it.
roll call please. Okay. Casey Burkholder,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, yes, sorry.
Lori for Kevin,
Yes.
Mike Conrad's not here. Aaron for Connie Wilder,
Yes.
thank you. No Julie. Crystal, yes. Kim Taylor,
Yes.
Carol Tracy,
Yes.
Jeff Boyd.
Yes.
Thank you. Hey, number 5 on our agenda is the PY 22 LWIA 23 performance report. I'll turn to Lori for a performance report.
All right, thank you. Closing out PY 22. We were either exceeding or meeting all of our performance measures across youth, adult, dislocated workers. So just where we wanted to end up the year. A lot of the credit has to go to our case managers who, when we exit people from our program, they're put into follow-up for a year. So our case managers are contacting our customers on a monthly basis, and a lot of this information as far as employment rates, the median earnings, this is all information they're gathering for those customers. So that does have a really big impact on our performance. So all that goes to the case managers. I mean, they do an excellent job. So so we ended up, I mean, good shape. So very happy with that. That concludes that report. But I do want to share, I want to introduce Kelly Denton. Kelly will be the new workforce director. I'm going to be retiring as of December 1st. So she will be taking over. I'll be here. We're doing a lot of training. She's out and about. A lot of the counties, getting to know the staff, getting to know the program, services, everything about the program. So, but I wanted to introduce her, and next meeting she'll be taking over. So
Thank you.
that concludes my report.
Lori, thank you for your report. Kelly, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Looking forward to meeting with everyone.
Good. We'll be looking forward to your reports in December. So just remember, we're a pretty easy group, so
Yeah.
it'll be a lot to take on the first time. Lori, thank you for your years of service on all of the committees, Director of WIOA, and all the programs that you have had your finger in or helped with or referred to over the years. So thank you very much for your years of service.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yeah, and congratulations, right? We're all a little jealous.
No, congratulations. Woo, yes.
We'll go on to number 6 is our program fiscal monitoring report. Tony, I'll turn the floor over to you.
All right, we had our DCO monitoring back in May, so that was prior to our June meeting, but we didn't have our results. So anyway, they came back with 3 different findings, and you got it in your packet, so you'll see the findings that they had given us in our response to all those findings. 2 of them were probably, I'm not going to say legitimate, they're just clerical errors, which it's a clerical error. It's not a finding in my opinion. But anyway, the first one, I just kind of find it funny. We discussed the first one with DCO at our soft exit. And then they still put it on here and we don't even know what the finding is. Because they had no idea. They just said, you didn't fill out the paperwork properly. What didn't we do? And nobody could give us an answer. So we took an educated guess and said, oh, there's one box that was not checked out of 18 pages. We're gonna guess that's probably it. So anyway, that was our monitoring with them. Overall, it was pretty good. Seth does a great job. Debbie does a great job and Lakeland does a great job. So pretty happy with the report. They've got to find something. I think this year we had some new monitors and they've got to justify their job up in Springfield, Chicago, where they're from. And they're gonna find something. I mean, I've been a monitor for 20 years and I get it too. I mean, you gotta find something. So, but some of these things are pretty piddly and I don't think any of them, I don't think they warrant a finding. But anyway, that's what it is. We responded, they responded back that everything was acceptable and we'll see you next year type of thing. So we have our next monitoring meeting is coming up when it's like
Probably the next
month.
month, probably.
And we'll figure out when our monitoring is gonna be next year. In the last 2 years, we've been one of the last LWAs to get monitored, so pretty sure it's probably gonna happen again. It'll probably be in May, April, May timeframe. So anyway, that's the monitoring report. I haven't done any monitoring since our last meeting, so there's nothing locally that we need to talk about. So that's it, Chris.
Thank you.
So did all 5 people show up for all 4 days? That's listed in this report. I was gonna say, if 5 people show up for 4 days and they only find that, I believe me, we get audited just like Steph does and everybody else, everybody and their brothers probably about 5 a year, and yes, they always have to find some T that's not crossed or whatever
Yeah.
it is.
And that's what it comes down
Yeah.
to, it's silly stuff.
It's silly stuff,
Or you're off by 2 days
Yeah,
on something, yes,
Yeah.
we get that, oh, yes. You didn't, it wasn't signed within 30 days, you know,
Mhm.
because of mailing, yeah, they always find something.
silly, silly.
But yeah, kudos to you guys. That's awesome.
Tony, thank you for your report and thank you for all of the details that you provided with the responses back to DCEO. We'll move on to number 7, the Adult Education Area Planning Committee, Lakeland College update. I'll turn that over to Jamie.
Yeah, this is just an update, like Lakeland College Adult Education Department. Shannon McGregor is really good at keeping us updated and showing exactly how she is aligning her plan to the regional plan and responsive to local employer need. So in response to input that she's received from local employers, the ESL classes have 2 new sites. And I think last time we met, they had already added 1 more. So in addition to that, they have 2 more and there's talks for additional ESL classes. The sites are in Shelbyville and Arthur, so just outside of our region, but still very much affect the people of our region. So just an update of how change in demand is coming in LWA 23, and this is a great example of a partner that is responsive immediately to that demand and doing the good work of allowing workforce development to be industry-led and responsive to their exact needs.
Any questions for Jamie on the adding of 2 new sites for English as a second language classes through our adult education program at Lakeland College? Seeing no questions, we'll move on to number 8, board appointment updates. Tony, we're back to you.
Oh, yay, me. Just an FYI, really, the board certification recertification is due September 30th to the Department of Commerce. That's why the board members, I sent all your profiles, you signed them, sent them back to me. There's been a couple replacements. Mr. Aaron Hacker is going to replace Connie Waldrop, and he'll be official for the TANF program as of October 1. Roy Shelley in Effingham takes the place of John Perry, and he'll be official as of October 1. and we are still waiting to fill a vacancy in Fayette County. And we reached out to Heidi, because Heidi knows everybody down there, and she gave us several names to maybe check with, so I sent that to the CEO. Gosh, I don't know, yesterday maybe, and I just have not got a response, so. I think paperwork wise, we will be compliant as of September 30th. I'll make sure that we are, because even if we don't get somebody from Fayette. I don't want to say this in recorded session, but we could make our, well, it's in the bylaws, so it's okay, but it's, we have a couple people from Effingham County. Or other counties that we can have represent Fayette County according to our bylaws, so we'll be in compliance anyway. But we want somebody to represent Fayette County, so they represent their own community, but anyway, we're waiting on the CEO down there to get back with us on that. Everything is done electronically this year. Everything right now, with the exception of Fayette County, has been uploaded into the state's database. And we are, like I said, just waiting on Fayette County, and we will certify it. I will have Nancy, our CEO, sign one piece of paper. It gets uploaded, and that is gonna be, that's the process, so.
What category are you looking for in Fayette County?
Just a private sector person. As Pat Click was the, yeah. And the CEO down there tried to get Pat to sign up for another 3 years, and Pat's on like every board in Fayette County, so
He's on the county board now too.
is he, so, yeah, so
I saw him the other night.
he's got his hands full.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are looking for somebody down there, and like I said, I asked Heidi Cade, because she knows like everybody. So if you could think of somebody down there too.
Didn't recommend somebody, you know, because
Yeah.
he's really good about thinking ahead and thinking.
Heidi had some real good.
Yeah.
She did, there was a couple businesses I hadn't heard of, but yeah, she started out with one business that she was really excited about, and I steered her away from that one. But anyway, yeah, Kim, if you could think of somebody too, I mean, we got what, 14, 15 days to
Okay.
find somebody, get the paperwork signed, and get a nomination to the chamber and get all that kind of stuff done, so.
Yeah.
If somebody comes across your mind, yeah, shoot me an email.
Okay.
And we'll get it to Jake and have Jake give his blessing and all that, so.
Mhm.
Anyway, that's just the FYI and the board updates.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Welcome aboard, Aaron Hacker. It's nice to see you. Number 9 on our agenda is other business. Or is there any other business on the floor? Seeing no other business, number 10 on our agenda. Our next meeting will be December 7th at 4:30 p.m. here at the same location we are this evening. Is there any public comment? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Carol. Lori / Kevin is the second. All in favor, aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries, and we are adjourned at 4:55. Thank you, everybody.